Thank you so much, Hirin, for introductions. Before I start, I will share my screen first. All right. Okay, as mentioned by Hirin earlier, today I'm going to share with all of you about this initiative by MDEC called My Digital Workforce Work in Tech, or in short, MYWiT. Okay, this initiative is actually launched in April this year. And so far we have received a quite good response from the company. And this is an initiative to incentivize employers to hire unemployed Malaysia by digital reskilling and upskilling. And through this initiative, we actually aims to meet the strong demand for digital business services job role and higher value digital tech role. Okay, and what we offer through this initiative is actually salary and training incentive for those companies that hiring digital tech talent. Okay, and under this initiative, we have two types of program. The first one called Digital Business Services, or in short DBS, and the second one called Digital Tech Apprenticeship, or in short DTA. Okay, let me just run through with all of you about this. The first program, which is DBS. Okay, this is actually for companies who are hiring fresh graduates or unemployed Malaysia for digital business services job roles. Okay, what is DBS job roles? DBS job roles is actually more to the service that delivered to business customer by business unit using digital tools and platform. It's actually pretty wide. It can be from finance, accounting, customer service, even tech also can be fall under this category. Okay, and then you can refer the job roles for this DBS. Actually, you can refer to the industry skill framework that we have developed with the industry. Yeah, the link of the industry skill framework is actually available in MyWiT landing page, so you can check out from there. All right, and then for the incentive for DBS, what we offered is for training, it's up to 5,000 per pack, and for the salary is 40% of the monthly salary for 6 months. And the minimum salary that the company need to pay for those you hired under this category, under this program, is 2,000 per month. And then you can see over there, right, the maximum incentive, which is 20,600. Because the reason why it's 20,600 is because for the salary, we put a cap, which is 40% out of 6,500. It's okay if the company pay more than 6,500 for the salary, but for the incentive, it's only going to give to the company 40% out of 6,500. Yeah. So for training for DBS, you can either opt for in-house training with minimum of 40 hours, or you can choose from our directory, which is work and learn courses or learning on demand courses with minimum for learning on demand, you have to meet the minimum of 20 hours. But for work and learn, it depends on what type of training that you choose. And this is all of this training is been listed in our directory. About the directory, I will explain later in my next slide. Yeah. Okay, now we move to DTA. DTA is actually for those companies that hiring Malaysian for the niche skill, which is covered only in these 3 areas, which is data, software development, and cybersecurity. And for the incentive, for DTA, for the training is a bit higher than the one that the training incentive we give for the DBS. It's 8,000 per pack, and for salary is fixed at 1,200 per month for 6 months. And for the minimum salary, the company need to pay under this program is 3,000 per month from 4th month onward. For the first 3 months, we leave it open, but it have to be more than 1,200 per month. Okay, and then for the type of training, you have to be only from career upgrade courses that listed in our directory. All right, okay, this is just a snapshot to show you about the digital DBS industry skill framework. As you can see here, there's a lot of pillars over here. Like I said, it's pretty wide in terms of type of jobs that can be falls under DBS category. As you can see here, there's a content moderator, customer service, even technology is also part of it. So yeah. And then this is where I'm going to explain to all of you in details about digital skills training directory, because this is where we listed, MDEC listed all the courses that have been reviewed and endorsed by the industry practitioner. And in this directory, we actually categorize the training in 3 categories. The first one called work and learn courses, and the second one called career upgrade courses, and the third one called learning on demand. What's the difference between these three categories is for the work and learn courses, this is actually more like a short courses where actually as of today, we already have about 180 courses to date, and this is more relevant to the DBS program. If you apply for DBS, you can choose the training from work and learn. Yeah, and we move to the second category called career upgrade courses. This is more like an intensive training with long duration, normally with long duration, and this is only covered in these three areas, which is data, cybersecurity, and software development. Hence, this is more relevant to the second program that I mentioned earlier, which is TTA. Yeah, and the last one is the learning on demand courses. This is the training which is using an online platform, and so far we have about 10 platforms to date, and this is more relevant to DBS. So as a summary here, if you apply for DBS, you either can choose in-house training or the training that listed under work and learn courses, or learning on demand. Yeah, so if you choose the DTA, you can only apply for the career upgrade courses. Yeah. All right, this is the eligibility criteria for the employers, because this is the incentives given to the employers, and for the claim is on reimbursement basis. Yeah, okay, and there's we put a cap in terms of the hiring. For DBS, the cap of hiring is 500, and for DTA is 50. Okay, and the company have to be incorporated in Malaysia under these two acts, which is Company Act 1965, or the Company Act 2016. And then the minimum paid up capital is 20,000. Which is a bit low, because we also for this initiative we actually try to cater to SMEs and also startup companies. Okay, and then not subject to liquidation, winding up or dormant, and of course not a public sector employer, federal and state statutory body and local authority, and the company have to offer the minimum of a 12-month employment period. Yeah, to the employees that they hire, and the employment offer letter have to be issued after companies submit the online qualifying applications. Yeah? And the number 7 is more like a conflict of interest, where the company director, shareholder, partner, senior manager have to declare and disclose if there's any close business or family relationship with any MDEC directors or employees. And the last one, the company cannot be the current recipient of any government or MDEC grant, yeah, not incentive, that include hiring and training subsidies. Yeah. Okay, then this is the criteria for the employees, where the only difference between these two is for DBS, we allow fresh graduate, but for DTA, it's only for unemployed and retrenched employees. And how we define unemployed? The person must be jobless or unemployed for a minimum of 2 months. For retrenched employees, you can hire them anytime, as long as you can provide an evidence that the person have been retrenched, which is the retrenchment letter. Yeah, so Malaysian citizen must not be a close family members of the top director, shareholder, or top management of the hiring companies, and also not a current or past beneficiary of this MYWiT initiative in any companies. And then also the last one is not part of Penjana Kerjaya 2.0, Penjana KPT CAP program, because these two programs are actually offering the same incentive like what we offer through MYWiT. We try to avoid double dipping here. Okay, this is the specific conditions for this initiative, where the first one is company can only submit one application until approval stage. And then the second application can only be, company can only submit the second application after you receive the letter of offer from MDEC for your first application. And it's also still subject to the fund availability during the time that you applied. Yeah, and number 2, the reimbursement of the incentive is only applicable for the participant that has completed the first 3 months of the program. It cannot be the first month or second month. It have to be 3 months onwards. Yeah, and that the employers are not allowed to replace participant under the incentive, which is we didn't allow backfill in this case. Yeah, so number 4, you company required to notify MDEC with the documentary evidence within 30 days if the participant resign or if company terminate a participant from the company. And the last one, the company need to provide to us the employee status report of the employees that you hired at the end of 6 and 12 months. This is have to be submitted together with the EPF statement and any additional evidence to prove the salary payment to the employees that you hire. This is if required only lah. Okay, and then this is the documentations that the documents that you guys need to submit. The company need to submit to us during the applications, because for this MYWiT initiative, we have 2 stages of application. The first one called qualifying stage, and the second one is an approval stage. Okay, for the qualifying stage, it's pretty straightforward. Just complete the signed online application form, completed and signed the online application form, and then you have to also to provide us the job posting link, that job vacancies that you post in any job platform. Yeah, it can be either in your own website or either in JobStreet, LinkedIn, anywhere, as long as you can provide us with the link. And the link have to be an active link for a minimum duration of 2 months. Reason why we need an active link, because once we receive the link from the company and the company has passed the qualifying stage, we're going to advertise your vacancies in MyWiT landing page. Because in MyWiT landing page, we do have a job seeker section where we listed all the jobs that have passed the qualifying stage. Yeah, and other than that, what you need to provide to us in the is the verified audited account and also a student management account. But this one is only for the companies who operate here in Malaysia for more than 1 year. But for those for the new companies, who you only need to submit to us the management account. Okay, now we move to the second stage, which is an approval stage. This is where company need to provide to us the employment offer letter for a minimum duration of 12 months, copy of new employee IC, copy of past 6-month EPF statement of the new employees that you hired, retrenchment letter if you hired a retrenched employees, and letter of this is letter of commitment between companies and the training provider or the purchase order. Yeah, and then this is only for career upgrade and work and learn courses only. But if you opt for the in-house for learning on demand, what you need to provide to us is only the quotations, because you don't need to subscribe yet. You just need to snapshot the quotation and send it to us. Yeah, and then if you choose the in-house training, we provided the template in our application form. Just fill up the template and provide it back to us. And then, of course, the evidence of fund, project completion, if you have received any government funding before. Yeah. So this the next one is a secrets report of the top 5 major shareholder and the board result. And the last one, the cover letter to confirm that all the documentation is correct and signed by the authorized signatory. And then this is my last slide already. This is just to let you know how to apply for this MyWiT initiative. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, there's 2 stages. It's qualifying stage and approval stage. Okay, qualifying stage, yes, fill up the online application form, submit to us the link of the job vacancies. And once you submit the application to us, we're going to do our due diligence at our end. And then once you tick all the box, you fulfill all the criteria, you will receive the acknowledgement email from MDEC. And then you can start, once you receive that, you can start finding a candidates and also select the training. Yeah, once you already found the candidates, you have already issued the letter of employment to the candidate that you would like to hire, and also you already have the letter of commitment or the purchase order with the training provider that you choose. Just submit all the documentation to us for an approval. Yeah, once we're going to do another round of checking, and then once we complete our checking, we're going to bring to the application to the evaluation committee. The evaluation committee will be then recommend for an approval or going to reject the applications. Yeah, and then during the evaluation meeting, we're going to invite company for the clarification session. You're going to be on standby. If there's a question from the committee members, only we're going to invite you for the clarification. Or if not, it's okay. You don't need to join the meeting at all. Okay, then Once you pass the evaluation meeting, then if it's approved, you will receive the offer letter from MDEC. This is when your incentive is activated. And for the claim, like I mentioned earlier, the person that you hire have to be with the company for a minimum of 3 months. So then the claim you can only submit upon completion of 3 and 6 months. Yeah, this is for the reimbursement. I think that's about it from me. Thank you very much.
Just want to let you all know that the ISA training program from ATA is also supported by MYWiT MDEC for the newly hired digital talent. So before we continue to our Q&A session, so if any of you here today are interested to participate in ISA skill set competency assessment, you can scan the QR code on the screen that you see on your left. So I can go ahead and scan the QR code for the ISA skill set competency assessment, and our program manager will get in touch with you soon. And then if you would like a copy of the presentation slides, all you have to do is just to share with us your feedback and scan the QR code on your right side. And then we will send you a copy of our presentation slides in a separate email.
Sorry, Hurin, I
Yes.
just have one more thing to add about MYWiT. This is just an update for everybody, even for ATD as well. We are now actually in the midst of enhancing the process for MYWiT applications, because now, as you can see, the process is a bit, it's a bit lengthy, and we are now actually in the midst of simplifying the process. So there might be an update coming from MDEC in anytime soon. So just bear with us. As of now, the process is as what I explained earlier, but please expect that some change. There are going to be changes in terms of the process. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Shafi, for that update. So, okay. So let's go ahead to our Q&A session. Okay, let's see if we have a question. Okay, so I can see here one question from John Tan to MDEC. So far, how many employees have MYWiT supported and trained?
Okay, actually, to answer that question, actually, we are not the one that conduct the training. It's actually, we do have the training provider that we have actually evaluated and listed in our directory, and ATD is one of it. So as of now, I can say how I'm going to answer this question is actually how many companies that have applied and have been qualified for this MYWiT program. We do have about more than 200 companies already applied for this, with total numbers of about more than 7,000 job vacancies already. Yeah.
All right. So I hope that answers John Tan's question. So next question, I think this one is for Aaron. So from Joshua, top of the question will be, which architect is most respected, in highest demand, and command the highest salary? So maybe Aaron can answer that question.
Yep. Okay, well, just now I think I mentioned that they got a row of architects. So they got 5, right? So the first one is business architect. Then after that, information architect. Then information, or you call it data architect. Then after that, application or software architect. Then we have infrastructure or technology architect, as well as solution architect. So now you ask me, which one can command the highest price, right? Basically, it's higher pay than any other roles. Okay, let me tell you the expectation of the typical organization when they hire architects. So if you are architect, not a full-time business architect, you're applying as a software architect, you need to carry another role as a business architect. So basically is that if you are architect and not a full-time architect or the business architect, you have to perform the role of business architect, regardless if you are information architect as your primary role, you still need to perform the role of business architect, because otherwise your information doesn't make sense to the business. Because why? I'm only looking after the information and data architecture, so I don't know anything about business. You can't do that. So you need to be able to perform the role of business architect, right? The second one is the software or application architect. The same thing. When you design your application, you need to be able to perform the role of business architect, because otherwise your application or your software cannot support or align with the business. The same thing if you have infrastructure or technology architect. you still need to be able to perform the role of business architect. Okay, because without that, then your infrastructure, your data center setup, your cybersecurity, everything, nothing to do with the business. You only look after your territory, which is highly technical, and you cannot deliver value. As well as if you're solution architect. So your solution architect, you are architect inside the project. You need to be able also to understand the business. You need to be able to perform the role of business architect, right? So if you ask me, among all these 5 roles, right, the longest serving architect in the particular task assignment is the solution architect. Because solution architect is the project 9 months, likelihood you look after that 9 months of the project implementation. But if you're looking at the percentage of the architect involvement, the amount of work, right, in terms of that, which one is the so-called demand more work, like business architecture, information architecture, software architecture, infrastructure architecture, or solution architecture? Let me tell you, 60% of your work or 70% typically you'll be doing the business architecture. Because the business architecture is the one that are very, very complex compared to the rest of architecture. I mean, software architecture, well, complexity is there, but you know, it's already very matured profession, right? You got so many software engineers and you can resolve many things very fast. But business architecture is something that you need to expect, or you need to be aligned. You need to manage the different stakeholder motivation and concern and driver. So that's the complex part. And of course, every architect, just now I mentioned, if you are software architect, business architect, you are software architect, infrastructure, information or solution, you need to be able to perform the role of business architect, right? So if you ask me, which one get highest pay? Well, it depends, right? If I tell you the business architect, then everybody will get the highest pay. Because why? I'm also the business architect, right? It's like myself, I'm more the software architect, but I can also carry myself as the business architect, so I can demand higher pay. Okay, so it really depends on the person, right? Because when you talk about architect, actually, just now I tell you 70% work more on the business architecture, but 80% is dealing with a human being. So meaning, if you can't deal with human being, you're only good at sending the WhatsApp, right? Sending the email, participate in the blog, etc. But if we put you in front of the stakeholders and suddenly your lips cramp, you cannot open the mouth, you can't do the job. Okay, so you need to be able to have a well-rounded skill, right? So in terms of the salary, I think it will be commensurate with your contribution, right? If you can perform what I described just now, right? So senior management every time go to board meeting, they are looking for Aaron. If I'm not around today, they tell you let's postpone until tomorrow. Then you can demand the higher pay. But if you around, right, senior management also don't call you, something not right about you. Right? So basically, it really depends on the where you can perform and where you can contribute. All right, over to you, Hurin.
Okay, great. Thank you for the answer, Aaron. Okay, we have a few more questions. What are the difference between the role of solution architect, project manager, and software architect? This is for Aaron also.
Okay, well, just now I mentioned solution architect is someone assigned into the project, right? So basically, just now you mentioned the question about between software architect, project manager, and solution architect. Let me just omit out a software architect, because software architect is a job outside the project team. Because the project team, if you are software architect or business architect or information architect or infrastructure architect, you perform the role of solution architect. That's it. Right? So it's the same thing like in the construction, right? So in the construction, when the architect walking into the construction site, wearing the helmet and the boot, you are the architect surveyor. You are on the ground. We call it solution architect. So solution architect is basically performing multiple roles, right? So solution architect need to know about business architect, need to know about software architect, need to know about information architect, need to know about infrastructure architect, and also how to glue them together, and also with the right technology and platform to deliver business value, right? So basically is that, and then of course when in the project, solution architect and project manager, basically solution architect helping project manager to in terms of the addressing all the technical concerns, technical challenges, and of course all the so-called in fact also can be advisor to the project management in terms of the timeline, on the quality, as well as on the so-called become the governance, basically to make sure that whatever the project that they are building is according to the architecture. Does that make sense?
Okay, thank you so much, Aaron. So next questions we have from Nurjainawati Mukhtar. She said, I am the one who prepared the ICT strategy plan. So which architect am I? Am I a part of the architect?
Yes, basically, if you are involved in the strategy plan, then you are actually considered under the business architect, right? So the business architect actually is the one that validating the strategy, modeling the strategy, also capture the motivation, and also develop a new capability. Because when you're talking about strategy, you need to be supported by the capability. So the capability is where you are going to assign to multiple departments, and also capability need to be supported by the technology. So I think in the realm of the enterprise architecture is that all interconnected. So if you are focusing on the so-called development strategy, then you need to sharpen the role of the skill set on the business architect. Then from there, you will see that, oh, actually, I also need the information architect to support my strategy. I also need a software architect to support my strategy. I also need to have infrastructure architect to support my strategy. And of course, when I execute my strategy, I need solution architect on the ground, right? So, you know, if you ask me among all the multiple role, right, how many person that even we need to start small? Do we need to start with 5 people? The answer is no. Okay, you can start with two people, but the 2 person or 2 people performing the role of architect is multi-talented people, right? So you get the multiple skill and the multiple experience and multiple knowledge to execute the job, right? 2 person can execute the 5 role that just now I'm talking about, if you are fully trained and skillful, right? Of course, if you are fresh graduate, then you need 5 or maybe 2 person per role, 10, right? Because you need to learn to do it right for the first time. So that's, I guess, my answer.
All right. So I think the last, okay, the question we have, I think it's the same as last question. Can project manager be solution architect as well?
Yes, of course can. You need to be trained, but it's not that said I'm a project manager and then said after attending the seminar tomorrow, the project manager tell the boss, according to yesterday's seminar, Aaron said I can become solution architect. So can you change my title and also give me a pay rise because I can become solution architect? The answer, well, you have to earn, right? Whatever you say, I want to become solution architect, you need to earn that title. You cannot challenge the management to give it to you, right? If management think, wow, now you are totally different person. You're project manager beyond your duty, right? You understand the whole aspect of the business. You also can address all the technical challenges, and you can address the information, you can address the application, you can address the infrastructure, and then your boss feel happy, and the boss said, okay, now you are promoted well to become the solution architect, right? Then somebody else will become a project manager. I guess that would be the most logical way, rather than straight away after this. Now it's what time? 3 o'clock, 3:30. You write email, you capture my recording and say, boss, give me the title. I can do the job. You can't. just kidding.
All right, thank you, Aaron. Okay, so we have a question for Shafini. Can they have a copy of your presentation slides? I suppose. Of course, we will.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. After this, I'll share the deck with ATD. But as I mentioned earlier, there might be changes in terms of the process. So what I'm going to do also, that once we have finalized the changes and everything, I'm going to share it with ATD for them to share with whoever that attend the session today. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So another question for Aaron: what is the learning path to solution architect if someone is already certified for CITA-F?
Okay, the thing just now in the graph is that if you already pass CITA-F, if you want to skip the framework, you want to skip the Archimate, can, but you need to go through the business technology strategy, because business technology strategy provide the foundation for an architect to understand the relationship between business and technology. Then from there, of course, they have a specialization course, they call it solution architect, right? So at that course, actually, you will learn, actually it's the 4 days training. Interestingly, on the day 1, you learn about the business architecture. Day 2, you learn about information architecture. So day 3, you learn about software architecture. Day 4, you learn about infrastructure architecture, as well as how to glue them together with the technology. Okay, so basically, is to put pieces into a model. Okay, basically 4-in-1 plus the technology itself.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. I think there's a question for Shafini. Is there an email or phone number on MYWiT website in case they need to clarify our question? I think Shafini,
yes.
Maybe,
yeah, actually, yes, we do have an email that which going to direct you to our customer service, which is Click, if you're aware. If you know about Click, or else you can also drop an email to me. I'll try my best to help to answer whatever questions that you have. Yeah.
Okay. Great. So maybe Shafini can leave your email address in the chat box so everyone can contact you. All right. So we have a few more questions to Mr. Aaron from Jonathan. How does business analysis skills fit into enterprise architecture or not at all?
Okay, the word is a business analyst?
Yes, business analysis skill.
So business analysis actually is the, I would say, is the so-called associate architect level, right? Because if you are very good in the business analysis, you understand about business requirement, you understand about business modeling, you understand about business process, and you're also dealing with the stakeholders, with the business user, right? And you also understand about the so-called, I presume, you have a technology background behind you, right? You understand about the technology knowledge, technology skill set, etc. So I would say that it is, you just need to be molded. Molded means you need to be trained, you need to be guided, right? What are the different now? Yesterday, I was a business analyst. Today, I'm a business architect, right? What does it take? What are the key differences? So you need to know that. And of course, the good news is that there is a training program, right, to teach you to guide you through the journey about, you know, from the business analyst, I want to become a business architect. What are the focus area that I want to be good at, right? Because what happened is that, you know, we used to teach, I used to be a trainer in the past, in my early days, right? So, you know, interestingly that after I conducted this type of training, and many of the students tell me that, wow, Aaron, I wish I attended this training 10 years ago. I said, well, I wish also I can have this, right? Always people say, I wish, but the reality is that today is the reality, right? It's good that you are not too late that you discover this. But he said that, you know, actually all the case study, the workshop, group discussion that conducted in the class, I almost went through that in my life because I got 15 years of experience. But the difference is that when I went through that in my life, it's just by chance somebody rescue me, right? Could be your boss rescue you, could be your colleague rescue you. Jadi the circumstances make you alive. Basically, in the movie, you are the main actor. You cannot shoot, that's why don't die one. And that's why you are today here. But that's it. If I got this knowledge, this competency, if I master this, I think I will end up a different role today. That is the real feedback that I got and I received from the student, right? And of course, we tell them that some of the students also said that, you know, after I open up this so-called knowledge, suddenly now when I go back to my work, I can see problem as an opportunity. They told me that, Aaron, a few weeks, before I attended the course, I am the king of complaint. I am the complaint king, right? So complain to the boss, they don't know to complain to the boss, complain to the colleague, and then complain to the whatever they meet the person, right? You go to coffee shop complaining about the job, complaining about everything the company has, right? So basically it's everything's bad. But after I see this, I understand the architecture, right? I see that my complaint actually is opportunity for me to get it right. Because in the organization, nobody want to get it right, right? So it's me lah. So they took up that opportunity, and after that, of course, many of them actually get promoted very, very fast because now they can see the perception change. Instead of complaining, instead of talking bad about the boss, talking bad about the process the company has, you fix it yourself. Okay, if you don't fix it, somebody else will fix it, and whoever fix it, it will go up to the management ladder. That will be on my message.